a life cycle method in React. So basically every React component has a life cycle of its own. Then life cycle of component can be defined as a series of methods that are invoked in a different state. So life cycle method is generally used for updation. So in React what we can do, we cannot directly change the state. Like if we declare a variable let a is equal to 2, we cannot do like reinitialize to it 3. This is not valid in React. So for that purpose there is this life cycle method. So there are the 4 phases mainly: initialization, mounting, updating and unmounting. So first one is the initialization. This is the stage where the component is constructed with the given props and default state. This is done in the constructor of a component class. So what does it simply means? It simply means when component is first time get rendered to the uh, first time component get rendered with initial props and default state. So there is no change in between then. And what does mean of this mounting? Is a stage of rendering the JSX written by the render method itself. It provides some method, and on that method component get first time mounted to the DOM. The component is mounted on the DOM and rendered for the first time on web page. So yeah, first time it will get mounted. Then third phase is the updating. Is the stage when the state of a component is updated and application is repeated. If there is a simple value like if anything change to if you declare let a is equal to 2 and after some time we reinitialize it with 3. So this is the stage of updation. So what happen in this stage when state of component is updated? If any state get updated and the application is repented, so the updation is the phase where the states and props or component are updated, followed by the some user events. So it provides some method for that, like clicking, processing a key on keyboard, like on click a button, form get submitted, like thing anything get happen, it provides some method for that. The next phase is the unmounting. Is the final step of the component life cycle where the component is removed from the page. If that task is done, so this is the final step for unmounting that particular component. So the next concept is the what is pure function. So pure functions are the components that do not re-render when the value of props and state has been updated with the same values. So what does mean of this pure component? It simply means component will not get re-rendered when the value of props and state been updated if there are the same value of the props, like we are passing the props like a and b having the same values, a having a stored the 2 and b stored the 3. So with same value, it when it doesn't updated any component, so the component is known as pure component. Then pure components restrict the re-rendering when there is no use of re-rendering of the component. So pure component doesn't re-render, and it restricts the re-render if the props and the value passed are the same. So which boosts the performance of our application. And these are the pure components. Then extending React class components with pure components ensure the higher performance of a component, ultimately makes your application faster. So if we declare like pure component, it will not re-render again and again. So what happen, re-rendering may decreases, the reason it will give high performance to the component, and it will also make the application more faster. Then next one is the in pure component the nested data structure does not work properly. So yeah, they are the pure and they are not re-rendering component again and again. So for the reason nested data structure does not work properly, because of it doesn't render multiple times. Then what are the higher order component in React? So higher order components are the powerful feature of React library. They allow you to use component logic across multiple components. So basically they are a powerful feature of React library, and it also allows the use of component logic across a multiple component. Then in React, a higher order component is a function that takes a component as an argument and returns a new component that wraps the original component. So what does this higher components it simply means? They are basically powerful. We can reuse it. It simply what does means it simply it another components take a parameter, or it may return a component. So we can say it is like higher order functions, like that higher order function is also like that. It may take another function as a parameter or returns a new function. This is like higher order components. So in React also this thing like do that, it returns a new component that wraps in original component. Then next, then higher order component allow you to add additional functionality to a component without modifying the component code. So what does this higher order functions component may do? So it also instead of modifying the current component and parent component, it allow you to without modifying that component with we can add the additional functionality by using this another component by return of that component. So which may keep your code clean and more maintainable. And it also good for like inheritance as well as polymorphism, encapsulation. So higher order components is very beneficial here. Then you can use the higher order components to add authentication. So it is also good for adding authentication or routing capabilities to a component, or to apply a specific style or behavior to multiple components. Then what does benefits of this higher order components? Like reusable, we can reuse that particular component again and again. It gives a good flexibility to maintain code, to keep clean our code in well mannered format. Then separation of concerns, composition, and higher order components. Then how to pass data from one component to another and explain various ways to perform it. The following are way to pass the data. So basically we can pass well like parent to child. It simply with props we can. This is very simple. And then a child to parent. With this thing we can also do by using this callback function. And we all can also pass the data from the between the sibling. So that's an all for today. Thank you.